What's up, you guys? Adam here with Anabolic Climbing, and today is week 3 of the check-in of the Retatrutide mini cut. So let's talk about it. If you guys remember, we started off at 167.4 pounds about 3 weeks ago on Monday, and this is my weight on Monday at the doctor's office where I was getting my follow-up labs. Still don't have the results yet, but as soon as I do, I will be adding it to the spreadsheet, uploading it, and checking in with you guys. So, really curious about those, by the way. Want to see if my A1C moved. Want to make sure my HDL and LDL are moving in the right direction with the ezetimibe. Also interested to see how my test levels are and everything else. So, really excited to keep you guys in the loop on it. But yeah, on this kind of half-assed weight cut, I am literally melting over here. This weight, like I said, is with a bladder full of water, so I'd have to estimate today when I'm taping this on Tuesday that I'm definitely under 160 for the first time probably since I've been on testosterone. So how do I feel? How am I climbing? You know, being on a bulk as a rock climber, definitely not ideal for the fingers. The short answer is I feel unexpectedly fantastic. Sleep has been okay, been waking up in the middle of the night, but been able to fall back asleep. That's not a big deal. I sleep a little bit better. Not carrying around the extra weight has been really good on my hips. They've been a lot more open than they have been in a really long time. Also, my strength has gone through the roof, both on and off the wall. So if you've been keeping track of the shorts, I've sent 2 V5s on the board and another one this evening. Just got back from the gym. And things are feeling really strong and really good. Not just that, I kind of felt like I was plateauing toward the tail end of the bulk. I put up 90 as a 1 rep max on my max pull-up, and I felt like I could not really push past that. And despite being down probably about 8 pounds right now, I put up 85 for 3. So things are moving really, really fast and feel really, really good too. On my dynos, I feel more explosive, I feel lighter. Being sub 160 feels really, really good. So, has there been anything else I'm doing that might have translated to this? Is there anything else that's been in or out? And the answer to that is kind of. I kind of wanted to keep this pretty straightforward, but I actually had a back and forth with a couple different coaches. And one of the discussions was sublingual Anavar versus oral. And let me be clear, you could take Anavar sublingually, but I actually changed my mind about this. I'm going to make another video about this later. But even though you can take it sublingually, and the Russians did it in their Duchess protocol, I don't think that's optimal. I had some pushback on that from one of the UK doping coaches, and I followed and checked that up with Kurt Havens, and they both sort of explained to me that, you know, it's not just processed in the bloodstream, but also through the liver and also the lower intestine. So I started swallowing my Anavar instead of taking it sublingually. Does that make the entire difference? Not sure, but I definitely am moving stronger on the wall, and that's one of the only variables that changed. The other one, for probably 3 or 4 days, I tried growth hormone for a smidge. Didn't like it, and I'll tell you why. I'll make a longer video about growth hormone, both in like the times that I've deployed it over the course of the last 6 months, but it's always been super sparingly because the water retention always drives my fingers crazy. I've mentioned this before. I have limited range of motion closing my hand. I can eventually get it all the way, but it takes time to warm up. And my fingers don't feel great on growth hormone. The water retention does not help. I definitely feel it when I'm going to sleep. I just don't like the feeling. And even though the sleep is really, really good, I don't think that is a trade-off, because even if I take it every other day on the nights that I train, I still feel a little waterlogged in my fingers, and even though I know that they feel okay, I don't like being in pain in my fingers on the wall. So, that's kind of a check-in of everything that's gone on over the course of this week. Also, I feel like I've gotten lazier with my weight cut. Initially, for the first week and a half, I've cooking all meals, being super, super limited on if I was willing to go out to eat. Would go out to eat once or twice with the wife. And now I'm finding myself getting in and out for dinner every other night. Weight is still melting off. Now, keep in mind, I'm still dieting pretty heavily. That's one of my only solid meals outside of breakfast. Everything else is either protein shakes or yogurt. I'm still well below 1,900 calories a day, but I'm not really pushing myself too hard on or restricting too hard on what I'm eating. As long as I'm hitting my protein, as long as I'm within my calorie count, if you got a craving, go for it. And that's been really helpful. Definitely as far as keeping the spirit up and also not going crazy with the cardio has helped me not feel super run down. Still averaging about 8,000 to 9,000 steps a day. But if I were really pushing myself, I'd probably be doing some zone 2 cardio probably 2 or 3 or 4 times a week. And I've done it maybe a handful of times over the course of this weight cut, and the weight is still coming down. So I am way ahead of schedule. The goal was to be down 10 pounds after 6 weeks. We're here on week 3, probably almost 8 pounds down. I could keep pushing. Considering my strength has not dropped, my fatigue has not set in, we have more room to cut. Abs are getting deeper, but if I needed to get stage ready, I would probably need to lose another 15 pounds. So I think I could drop another 5 to maybe 7 comfortably and still feel okay. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to get super, super lean. As soon as training output starts to diminish, I'm going to pull back and introduce more calories. But for now, considering strength is still going through the roof, fingers feel better than they have felt in months, and I've lost about 2 inches off my waist, there is no reason to pull back now. So that's the plan. I'm going to sort of evaluate if after week 5 I'm going to push through to week 6, if it makes sense or not, or if I'm going to start introducing food back in. But yeah, another 2 weeks should be pretty chill, to be honest. And as far as the initial thoughts on Retatrutide and the mini cut, a resounding success. I don't even know what else to say. The amount of weight that I've dropped, how easy it came off, and the output both on the wall and in the weight room is pretty seismic, to be honest. I'm going to do a full Retatrutide guide at the end of the 6-week cut. I do think the testosterone makes a ton of sense, particularly here. If I wasn't interested in getting bigger, I'd probably run it closer to 120 milligrams to 140 milligrams a week and just use it as a mechanism of just like maintaining muscle. But at 200, I don't think I've lost any muscle at all. And if I have, it's been very subtle, and it's kind of hard to even make that claim because my performance in the weight room keeps getting better. It wouldn't be unreasonable to think I might have even put on some muscle over the course of this calorie restriction because testosterone is broken. That's kind of the way I feel about it. Anyways, getting closer to Angel Jump, which is a V6. I touched the hold today. I think on another day, maybe by the end of this cut, it's going to go. And to go from V4 to V6 over the course of this mini cut would be freaking incredible. I would be over the moon for that. So that's kind of it. In the meanwhile, got some wrist straps for my deadlifts to see if I could try to get 400 on my next attempt at the end of this training block. Still going to push to get Dino Nuggies sent. I'm touching the hold every time. I just need to clamp down really hard. I haven't decided if I want to throw on an extra 10 milligrams of Anavar and just say fuck it and try to clamp real hard to get the send. We'll see what happens. But yeah, right now on 200 tests, 10 milligrams of Anavar, under 1 milligram a week of Retatrutide, and 500 micrograms of SLU PP332. Dude, this has been... Looking at the before and after of how I started this process versus where I am now, I definitely feel like there have been some pretty outsized gains. So, with that, just going to go get some rest, celebrate, and look forward to hitting the board again on Thursday. But yeah, really grateful, a lot to be grateful for. 3 V5s my first, one of which I got on 2 attempts, and my first muscle up. Damn, dude, things are moving. So, as always, appreciate you guys hanging out for this check-in. Appreciate you guys sticking by. As always, not a doctor. Do not do drugs. If you do, please do them from a medical professional. If you're a kid, definitely do not do drugs. This is strictly for educational purposes only. But, yeah, one last comment. Hit 50 subscribers this week. Really appreciate all of you guys that have been back and forth with me in the comments, that have been liking the posts. You guys mean the world to me, and thank you for supporting me on this journey so far. So with that, happy lifting, happy sending. Really appreciate you guys for sticking on the ride so far. Adam with Anabolic Climbing, signing out. Can't wait to see you guys soon. Cheers.